The mayor says it left 2 officers with minor injuries. Mayor Mamdani has said he did not believe anyone should be arrested for the incident and described it as a fun snowball fight that got out of control.
America, a 27-year-old man just got arrested for pelting NYPD officers with ice balls. Manhattan DA Alvin Bragg, one of the most incompetent, corrupt prosecutors in America, dropped the assault charges and let this guy walk.
They also say he previously was arrested less than 3 weeks ago for attempted robbery on one of the metro trains.
Because assaulting cops is apparently fine when you're a career criminal in Zohran Mamdani's social paradise.
The mayor's response is a complete failure of leadership. This was not just a snowball fight. This was an assault by adults throwing chunks of ice and rocks.
What is up, guys? Tyson DeLaCruz here. Thank you so much for rocking with me. Let me show you how New York City's socialist mayor and corrupt DA just told every single cop on the NYPD that their safety doesn't even matter. Let me start with what actually happened in Washington Square Park, because calling this a quote-unquote snowball fight is like calling a mugging a forced donation.
Dozens of mostly teenagers and college students hurling snowballs after hearing about it on social media. The officers were confronted after someone called 911.
Notice how it started. Social media organized. This wasn't some spontaneous fun in the snow. This was a coordinated event where dozens of people showed up specifically to pelt cops with ice after somebody called 911. It's not kids playing around. That is a mob. The suspect, 27-year-old Gusmane Coulibaly, it's not a kid. It's not a teenager, a grown man with dreadlocks who thought assaulting police officers was a fun afternoon activity.
I'm a grown-ass man.
Charged with assault on a police officer, disorderly conduct, and obstructing governmental administration.
Those are serious felony charges. Assault on a police officer is not a misdemeanor you get for jaywalking. This is the kind of charge that should result in jail time, especially when you're already facing robbery charges from 3 weeks ago. But watch Mayor Zohran Mamdani's response to all this. This is where the lack of respect becomes absolutely crystal clear.
I've said that what I saw was a snowball fight. It should be treated accordingly. It was one that got out of hand, but that's what it was.
A snowball fight that got out of hand, he says. That's how you describe assaulting police officers. 2 cops had to go to the hospital with injuries. But sure, Zohran Mamdani says it's just kids having fun. Now, let me tell you what the lamestream media is trying to bury. Alvin Bragg just dropped the assault charges against this guy. The same DA who prosecuted Trump more aggressively than any violent criminal in Manhattan just let a guy who assaulted cops walk free. Here's what Bragg didn't drop: disorderly conduct and obstructing governmental administration. So Gusmane Dreadhead still faces charges, just not the serious ones that would have kept him off the streets.
This was not just a snowball fight. This was an assault by adults throwing chunks of ice and rocks that landed 2 officers in the hospital.
Chunks of ice and rocks, not fluffy snowballs, not harmless fun, you guys. Ice and rocks thrown at officers that were just responding to a 911 call. And Alvin Bragg looks at it and says, it's not worth prosecuting for assault. But here's the pattern you need to understand. Gusmane was arrested for attempted robbery on the metro just 3 weeks before this snowball assault. That means, let me round this out for you guys, that means that he was awaiting trial for 1 violent crime. He committed another violent crime against a police officer. And what did big back Alvin Bragg do? He let him walk on the assault charges.
By downplaying the incident, former Chief of Detectives Robert Boyce said the mayor is risking his relationship with the NYPD.
I don't think he realizes what he's going to lose if he loses the police department, the morale of the police department.
Risking his relationship with the NYPD. No. Zohran Mamdani destroyed, nucleared, evaporated, Hiroshima that relationship the moment that he called this a fun snowball fight. You cannot expect cops to risk their lives protecting a city when the mayor, you, Zohran Mamdani, and the DA won't even prosecute people who assault them. This is why if you're a cop in New York City, you need to get out and move to Florida, move to Texas, move to anywhere else that respects law enforcement, because the people like big back Alvin Braggs and peekaboo James, New York AG Letitia James, Zohran Mamdani, who hides from accountability, are not making your job easier. They're making it absolutely impossible. Now let me show you peak hypocrisy of Zohran Mamdani's New York while he's defending criminals who assault cops without requiring accountability. He's requiring 2 forms of ID for New Yorkers who want to get paid to shovel snow. Let that sink in for a minute. Just let it sink in. 2 IDs to shovel snow, 0 IDs to vote.
You're going to require somebody to show not 1 form, but 2 forms of ID in order to shovel snow, but not to vote. I mean, it's a silly dispute. Everybody has ID. Everybody could get ID. I can tell you the way my people back in Louisiana feel about it. They feel about it they tell me, if you can't figure out how to get an ID, you probably shouldn't be voting.
That's Senator Kennedy calling out the insanity of New York's policies. And Kennedy's closing line, which I absolutely love: if you can't figure out how to get an ID, you probably shouldn't be voting. That's the Louisiana common sense that New York desperately needs, but will never get under socialist leadership. But here's what connects all this together. Zohran Mamdani's entire governance philosophy is based on selective enforcement. He'll require IDs for city jobs. He'll require permits and licenses for business. He'll enforce every petty regulation on law-abiding citizens. But when it comes to criminals assaulting police officers, suddenly enforcement doesn't matter.
He's already been the leader of the defund the police movement. He's already saying he's not going to hire 5,000 more cops as Mayor Adams had planned in the pipeline. He's already cutting overtime from our police.
Defund the police, cut overtime, refuse to hire additional officers, and now defend criminals who assault cops. That's Zohran Mamdani's 4-part plan to destroy public safety in New York. This, chat, is the same pattern that we've seen in every Democrat-run city. 1, demonize police, defund movements, cutting budgets. 2, empower criminals, no bail, drop charges, light sentencing. 3, blame crime on systematic issues, poverty and inequality, anything but their policies. 4, watch the city collapse, population exodus, business flight, tax base erosion. Now, let me tell you why this actually matters beyond just one snowball fight. This incident is a warning shot to every NYPD officer that their leadership will absolutely not protect them.
Today, he has no public schedule, and there's no opportunity to question the mayor any further.
The mayor won't even answer questions about it. He's hiding because he knows his position is indefensible. You can't assault cops at a fun snowball fight and then face the media without looking like a complete fool. But here's the bigger picture. New York is on the same trajectory as Chicago. Chicago policies became so anti-police, so pro-criminal that businesses started fleeing. Crime out the roof skyrocketed. The tax base collapsed. And now everybody in Chicago leadership is in denial because the Chicago Bears are leaving. And New York is next. The Giants and the Jets already play in Jersey. How long before they officially relocate? How long before Wall Street firms finish their migration to Florida? How long before NYPD can't recruit anybody because the word gets out that the city won't prosecute people who assault you?
And if we're going to safeguard our elections, we must pass the Save America Act.
The Save America Act would require real ID to vote. The same standard New York applies to snow shovelers, but Democrats oppose it because they know election integrity means threatening their power base. And that's what this is really about. Mamdani and Bragg aren't incompetent. They're strategic. They know that letting criminals run free creates absolute chaos. Chaos creates dependency. Dependency creates Democrat voters. It's a circle that benefits them politically while destroying their city.
Brooklyn Council member Lincoln Ressler insisted the mayor's critics are overreacting.
I think it was a snowball fight. Did everyone act perfectly? No. Did folks get carried away? Yes. But it was a snowball fight.
Do you don't think people should be charged?
No, I don't.
That is a New York City council member openly stating that assaulting police officers should not result in criminal charges. Let that marinate. Believes cops should just simply accept being assaulted as part of their job. When you elect leadership that openly sides with criminals over cops, the city's absolutely toast. America, the lack of respect for NYPD officers didn't start with the Snowball fight. It started when leaders like Zohran Mamdani and Alvin Big Back Braggs made it clear that criminals face fewer consequences than cops who defend themselves. Gusmane, the dreadhead who pelted officers with ice and rocks, was arrested for robbery 3 weeks before assaulting cops. Braggs dropped the assault charges anyway, because in progressive New York, career criminals get infinite second chances, while police officers get called racist for doing their job. This is why every cop in NYPD should be updating their LinkedIn and resume. When Senator Kennedy has to explain to your mayor that requiring ID to shovel snow while opposing voter ID is stupid, your city is beyond saving. Let me know what you think about this. Drop it down in the comments section down below. Smash the like button if you kindly would. Share, subscribe, and as always, guys, I'll catch you on the next one.